Chapter 946 of One Piece is out, and great things just seem to keep happening. The chapter is titled Queen vs. O-Lin, but it should really be titled How Queen Was Utterly Humiliated. But let's start at the beginning. Oh yeah, no wait, that actually is the beginning. The chapter starts off immediately with the continuation of the, let's call it battle, between Big Mom and Queen, who had been slam dunked into the ground by Big Mom the previous chapter. And things don't really seem to change for the better at the beginning of this one, because Big Mom gives the All-Star no break, picks him up and throws him across the yard where he slams into the wall. Big Mom has just taken out a Yonko commander worth 1.3 billion berries in just 2 hits without even knowing about her being a Yonko or Queen being a commander. I'm just so damn happy to finally see an Emperor getting serious here, because I feel like a lot of people have gotten the wrong impressions of their powers. Queen, undoubtedly being a very strong character, didn't so much put up a fight here as he was used as a bowling ball. Since the strongest opponent for the Big Mom pirates in Whole Cake Island was Luffy, who had yet to even look eye to eye with one of the commanders, there was no situation that really called for Big Mom to use her powers at the full. So I really hope that people out there who were disappointed by the Yonko so far are now aware of how different they are compared to everyone else. Luckily for those involved, Big Mom throwing a giant dinosaur through the yard resulted in Kid and Killer being freed from the well and in Kawamatsu's cell being opened up. While I really like how relieved Luffy is about the two of them being alive, I kinda really wonder how the relationship between the two will play out in the future. So far, I feel like they had more of a respectful rivalry with each other, but I think there's at least a very strong argument now for Kid and Luffy joining forces. We are not yet sure how things will play out with Law in the future, but I think we can at least hope for another scene with the three of them standing side by side. When it comes to Kawamatsu, even though the guards expect him to have died in the cell that Queen slammed into, I think it's fairly safe to say that he made it out alive. Either that or a much hyped up character just died tragically off screen, squished by a giant dinosaur. Anyway, as a logical consequence, the remaining Beast Pirates try to reorganize by contacting Kaido and informing him about what happened. The Scorpion headliner Daifugu has the amazing idea to shoot at Big Mom for a moment, but is shut down fairly quickly by the head jailer. They have to find out though that any communication to outside of Udon has been cut off completely. The stick transponder snails they use won't work. And in the next scene we get an explanation for how this could happen. We see Raizo speed through the executioner's tower of the prison, who has been told about the great weakness of Wano's communication system by no one else than Caribou. He explains that the small transponder snails, while being very handy especially on short distances, have too weak a signal to communicate outside a certain range. They therefore have to connect to a large central snail first, that then transmit the messages outside. And unfortunately enough for Kaido and his crew, every region in Wano seems to possess only one of these snails. I feel like this is a significant weakness, even or maybe especially for a Yonko crew. Communication is such an important asset, especially in the New World, and having such a central weakness to the communication in an entire region seems very risky to me. And while I'm not really surprised that Caribou shares this information with Raizo, since he himself wants to get out of there, I can't help but wonder how he got that information in the first place. Because being unable to use his Devil Fruit power, he either must have overheard that information or someone told him. And considering that the guards should keep that information close, I personally think the second option is much more intriguing. Especially when you consider that Caribou wanted to sell the information on Poseidon to someone. But more on that at another point, I guess. For now, we can't help but appreciate the unique opportunity that Raizo and Caribou have created for Luffy and the others now. Big Mom meanwhile has smelled out the pot with the Shiruko and eagerly opens it, just to find the expected result: nothing. The pot is completely empty and the expression we get from Big Mom is just hilarious. I think I mentioned this pretty much every chapter now, but I really love Oda's artwork in this arc, and the comedic scenes are no exception. I feel like that one panel with Big Mom realizing she came all the way for nothing just brings the situation across so well. So everything is good now, no? Big Mom has taken out Queen, she has helped Kid and Killer as well as Kawamatsu escape, and is now angry at the Beast Pirates for the empty Shiruko bowl. Well, if you thought that that's what was going to happen, you obviously don't know One Piece. Because of course, Luffy just spills the beans and tells her with a big grin on his face that he also wanted to have more of it since it was so delicious. And of course, he didn't mean to say it out loud. Once again, Big Mom staring at Luffy with glowing eyes. Beautiful panel. I actually really like how fast Luffy has accepted that Big Mom is there, who obviously starts attacking Luffy right away. While Luffy and Hyogoro have to dodge her punches, she slowly starts destroying the sumo ring. And what follows is an awesome set of misunderstandings. Luffy calls her name and tells her to stop so the blades won't kill the two of them, but of course Big Mom doesn't know she's Big Mom, and she also has no idea what Luffy's talking about with his blades. Nor does she probably really care too much. She calls Luffy out for stealing the Shiruko and asks him who he is. Luffy, of course, not knowing that Big Mom has lost her memory, assumes that it's his not really convincingly changed appearance that made her not recognize him. And then in comes another amazing twist by Oda. With everyone pretty certain that Big Mom would be on the edge, if not already right in one of her hunger pains, it actually turns out that she only wanted to pay the villagers of Leftover Town in Curry back for their kindness towards her. Instead of wanting it all for herself, she wanted to share it with everyone there. And Chopper and Kiko realize that she still hasn't lost any of her kindness despite her hunger. In her anger though, she finally blows the stage apart, sending Luffy and Hyogoro flying into the air where their collars start beeping intensely, about to explode. Before the collars can kill them though, Luffy somehow manages to rip them off in the last moment, sending both of the collars flying. The collars explode just moments later. I'm not sure why they just exploded, since they were supposed to cut off their heads, but I'm not going to question that right now. The important thing here is that Luffy managed to remove the collars similar to what Rayleigh did on Sabaody. And apparently, as suspected, this was exactly the thing Luffy was trying to achieve all along. And similar to Rayleigh, Hyogoro tells Luffy that he can only awaken his true power in a truly dire situation. So Luffy's new training partner will now be Big Mom apparently. Boom. Chapter over. I mean, what to say guys, the last couple of chapters really built towards a climax that we are now right in. I don't know about you, but I'm crazily happy so far with how things turned out here. While I'm a little sad that the fighting in the capital will most likely be off-screened, I think no one can complain about what we got instead. First of all, I'm very happy that we finally get to see that no Yonko commander stands a chance against a Yonko who is serious. Not only that, but there are not even any kind of threat to them apparently. I feel like this demonstration of Big Mom's power was long overdue, and even though I understand plot-wise why we didn't get that in Whole Cake Island, I think it would have made the arc better for a lot of people. I personally enjoyed the arc a lot, but I understand it when people say that they didn't really feel the true terror of a Yonko. Well, at least now you should know. We also got Karibu cooperating with Raizo to cut off communications throughout Udon. And I'm very curious where his true allegiance lies and where he got that information from in the first place. I personally kind of can't get rid of that feeling that Blackbeard is somehow involved in this, but it may just be a hunch. Finally, I'm incredibly happy about the ending of this chapter. Big Mom, after all, is still in her state of kindness, not reverting back to her old self. I think I can't stress enough how important I think it is for her and Luffy to interact and talk before she regains her memories. I would be kind of disappointed if the whole amnesia thing ended right there, but so far, I'm very happy. I also love the reference of the collars to Rayleigh at Sabaody and of Luffy slowly catching up with his master. That being said, I also love Hyogoro as Luffy's temporary master in this. And of course, it's awesome that Luffy can train with a Yonko without any interference, with Chopper right there to intervene if necessary. I guess you could call this plot convenience, but isn't any type of plot convenience in some form? And I think it is an amazing situation, and I'm damn happy that there is no break next week. All in all guys, once again I'm blown away by this chapter. Things are moving in a direction I really enjoy, and there's so much that can happen from here on out. I'm sure that the end of this act still holds another 1 or 2 major surprises for us as well. But now let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm currently on vacation, so forgive my lack of activity lately, but you can expect me to be full back on track in July. I will make sure to get out my reviews, and you can also look forward to my Q&A sometime in the coming week. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to be notified for any future content of mine. Or dislike, don't share and unsubscribe. It's a free world, people. I hope to see you around next time, and as always guys, have a great week.